I'm a mum of three only recently, and there's a few things that I've learned with each baby that I've had that when I look back on, I think, God, I wish I knew this when I had my first baby because it would have made my life a lot easier. Now, motherhood is not a one size fits all, but I thought I would share just my top ones in case there's any mums out there or soon to be mums that are similar in any way or experiencing similar things that this could help. So the first one is for my breastfeeding mums. When my first son was born, he wasn't breathing and they had to do a whole thing on him to clear his airways. So because there was so much going on, it took a really long time for things to come down and be like, okay, well, I'm going to try and put him on my chest now to try and get him to latch. Now with my second two kids, as soon as they came out and we did chest to chest, I was like straight in there with the to try and get them to latch, and they latched instantly. And I think that because I took such a long time with my first son, that's why I struggled so much to get him to latch, and it's probably why my breastfeeding journey was so hard with him. So if you can, and if you do plan to try and breastfeed, as soon as baby comes out and you do that chest to chest, like just, you know, after you've had that, just try and get them on there, and I feel like that just helped hugely. On that note, pumping whilst also breastfeeding. So with my first son, he preferred one side to the other, so I just didn't do anything with the other side. Supply and demand kicked in, that side dried up, made the other side dry up. So my second son, because I was so scared the same thing would happen, and my breastfeeding journey with my first son was only 4 months long and I wanted to do it for like a year. My second son, I would pump as well as feed him. He didn't mind either side, which is great, but whenever I felt a little bit full or he was having a longer sleep, I would just pump, and I'd always do one side at a time, because what can happen, not all the time, but if you pump both at the same time, it can tell your body that you like have twins, so they expect to lactate at the same time. That's just a personal preference. Hands-free pumps are a lot easier than being tied up to a machine. It's also nice because you can store that milk in the freezer or in the fridge, and like dad can feed baby with a bottle, or you know, if you wanted to actually go out, if you felt comfortable enough, then your baby would have food at home as well. So it just gives you a lot more freedom. The next one is tear ducts. So I didn't know this, but when babies are first born, they don't actually like produce tears. It takes a while for their tear ducts to develop. And with my first two sons, it hasn't happened with my daughter, but with my first two sons, or my first son, like it ends up getting like a really goopy yellow, like it looks like pus basically, and it makes it really hard for their eyes to open up, and it's not great. And when the first time it happened, I was like, oh my god, we need to go to A&E, like what's happening? But we googled it, good old nanny Google, and it just said that it's just their tear ducts forming. So with that, we just got something soft like cotton balls, dipped it in warm water and just wiped it clean. It is hard to see them because like if they're sleeping for a while and then they wake up, they can't even open their eyes. But yeah, if you just give them a little clean, it kind of happens for like a couple of days and then it goes away and they have tears. Another one is a beside me bed. I cannot recommend this enough. With my first son, we had a cot at the bottom of our bed, so in the night I'd have to get out of bed, go and get him, bring him back, change him, feed him, get back out of bed, go and put him back in the cot. Whereas with my next two, I had a beside me bed, and it just made those nighttime schedules like so much easier because you just bend down, pick them up, feed them, change them, put them back, and you haven't gotten out of bed, which is fantastic. So highly recommend bassinet or beside me bed. Changed everything for us. For me, Dan did nothing, he was just asleep. I need to give him credit where credit is due. He does wake up and do 1 or 2 nappies a night, but I do all the feeding, obviously. Another one is nappies. Like this one's just going to save you so much money. You don't need the premium stuff. I bought Pampers Premium with my first son and it was like £11 for a pack. And on tiny babies, go through a lot of nappies. But with my second two, I've just used Lidl. Aldi's ones are also good, and in Lidl you get 28 nappies for the number one for 75p. So the cheap stuff is just as good, or it was for us. And sometimes it depends on your baby's skin. It's trial and error. You might try a couple nappies, but I've always had great things about the Lidl and Aldi ones. So yeah, if you're having your first baby, you don't necessarily need to get the premium stuff. Get it if you want, but cheap stuff is just as good. Now the last one I'm going to cover today is for the mums. It's quite well known that when you first become a mum, you go through this transition of trying to find your new identity, and it can take up to 2 years, and it did for me. It took 2 full years to kind of learn who I now was. Just give yourself some time, be kind to yourself. It's totally normal to also struggle whilst you're trying to find your new identity. It's a really hard thing to do. But I think for ages I just felt so lost, and I just didn't know that it was actually so common that it takes a really long time, especially because your brain chemicals change when you're pregnant. Like just so we go through so much, and we expect ourselves to kind of just like know what's going to happen afterwards, but you don't. So yeah, just be kind to yourself. And on that note as well, once you bring baby home, the lifestyle that you live is totally up to you. Some women, they'll stay inside for 6 weeks because they don't want to go out. They want to have like that newborn bubble, and that's fine for them. And some women would like to have a bit of normality because it helps with their mental health. So they'll go out and do some chores. Don't ever compare. Like, what's right for you is right for you. Don't let anyone say that you're doing too much or too little. Or, you know, look at someone being like, oh, maybe I should be going out more, because maybe that's not right for you. Or if you're looking at someone who's at home and you're like, oh, maybe I'm doing too much, or maybe I need to stay at home more. If that's not right for you, then don't do it. And also, don't let people tell you what you should be doing. Like, you and your family setup is so unique and so beautiful, and you know what you want to do. So do it the way you want to do it. But yeah, they're my top ones that I wish I'd known when I was a first-time mum. But you know, you live and you learn, and this is what I've learned from my experience anyway.